My volleyball performance has improved over the extent of my participation through the use of games analysis and a resulting training program designed to develop my weaknesses. Through analysing my statistics in each position on the court and my resulting performance, I was able to tailor a training program to suit my needs and to allow me to improve as an individual and as part of a team. To begin the term volleyball, we completed several closed drills to develop a set of statistics to help identify our strengths and weaknesses, to assist in choosing a position on the volleyball court, to focus our time and drills to help us strengthen our performance and work as a team against the opposing team throughout the term. The statistics collected clearly show that my strengths lie in passing and hitting, rather in blocking and setting. Although I performed adequately in blocking and setting, the position as pass hit is preferable for me, as they still include a degree of blocking and setting, which allowed me to utilise a variety of skills to assist my team during gameplay. For some players in my team, the decision was not based on what their stats portrayed, but rather what their team may have required. For example, there are few people who either performed well as a setter or wished to play as that position on that court. Because of this, one team ended up with a more competent group of setters due to their wish to play their part and more statistical choice rather than the requirements of their team. Due to this, a recommendation for the future would be for the teams to have been chosen after positions were assigned, as this will allow for a more even spread of positions and less of a chance of players being forced into playing a certain role. After positions were decided, we began with some gameplay. Game analysis is a method of gathering data about the performance of an individual athlete or team to identify areas of strength and weaknesses, and target training to ensure it is effective. There are multiple types of game analysis, including observation, observation plus statistical recording, and video evidence plus statistical recording. I chose to focus on the third method of games analysis, with the intention of watching videos of my playing as a pass hit position, to allow me to identify my strengths and weaknesses to better tailor the training program I chose to create to these strengths/weaknesses. This is considered the most accurate form of games analysis by the Queensland Senior PE textbooks, as it allows the viewer to freeze gameplay and analyse each decision, and in my case each pass, to judge my decision making and success rate. For the analysis to be successful, a variety of different statistics must be analysed. Therefore, using a table supplied by my teacher, I analysed a variety of my individual statistics. These statistics allow me to analyse just about every part of my performance. After analysing 4 sets of my gameplay, it was clear that it was a good position for me, as I had a strong ratio of 3 to 19 receive errors to receive attempts. Also, my kills ratio was 3 to 10, as in 3 kills to 10 attempts. This may seem low, although my errors were kept to 0, meaning I was at the very least putting pressure on the other team to receive my hits. Although this clearly reflects the room for improvement in my performance, as an extra 7 possible points were lost due to my lack of power and accuracy in my hits. My serves were also analysed. However, these statistics were not as positive as my others, with 13 attempts, 4 errors and 5 aces. Although my aces numbered higher than my service errors in the serving field must be kept to an absolute minimum, as this leaves no opportunity to win a point, but rather is an immediate point to the other team. My game analysis closely reflected the statistics recorded at the beginning of the term, and strengthens the choice for me to play a pass hit position. In choosing my position, I also chose to study Figueroa's framework. The biggest factor of the framework that affected me was the individual level and my genetic disposition inside the individual level. I am relatively tall, however compared to some of the other members of my team I was not the tallest. Therefore, a middle position, which consists of more of a blocking/hitting role, was ill-advised, as there were others more capable to fill that role. Also, my somatotype supplied by bodybuilding.com suggests that I am 13% endomorphic and 88% mesomorphic, which means that I find it easy to gain and lose both weight and muscle, and am naturally good at physical activity. This meant that I would make a good hitter, as it involved multiple movements of jumping and hitting the ball, as well as targeting where the ball is to be hit. Although my initial performance supported my choice to pass it, there was still a lot of room for improvement. Due to this, I was tasked with creating a mesocycle to begin training to improve my skills in the sport. A mesocycle generally takes place within 4 to 6 weeks. For the limited time that was provided for our training, a 4-week mesocycle was ideal, and therefore was created. And mesocycles consisted of skills training, rest days, and of course gameplay, to actually perform as a team and work cohesively in an attempt to further improve our performance. Figueroa's framework goes into depth about certain factors within different levels that can affect a player's success and equity in a sport. One of the factors at the individual level is genetic predisposition. This has affected my performance in the sport, as well as the process I took to choose my position on the field, as genetic makeup will determine a person's body type, muscle type, and bulk, as well as their height and length of limbs. These body features will allow some individuals to develop natural abilities that are helpful in particular physical activities. This has majorly influenced my creation of my mesocycle, as this meant that I had to factor in technique training to make up for advantages I have not received from my genetic makeup. One of the disadvantages of my genetic makeup, and arguably the most important, is my height. Although I am over the 6 foot mark, it still does not place me as one of the tallest players on the court. Because of this, I have chosen to factor in one plyometric and strength training session per week. Unlike typical strength training exercises that involve long, slow movements designed to increase muscular strength and mass, plyometric exercises involve quick, explosive movements designed to increase speed and power. These are designed to allow me to increase my vertical jump height to allow me to compensate for my height disadvantages on the court. Because of this, they included exercises such as box jumps. These exercises work to help me to practice summing momentum through my lower body, as well as lowering my center of gravity to allow me to reach a greater height on my jumps to help support my performance on the court. The combination of being able to increase my momentum in a vertical jump through increased usage of my body combined with more control provided by my lower center of gravity will allow me to jump higher and therefore become more effective in a blocking role, which is part of the role of a pass hit. I also included power-based training, mostly focused on my upper body to help in putting more power into my hits and sets to increase my consistency, as at the beginning of my training my hits were not particularly powerful. Therefore, I included exercises such as medicine ball power throws to help focus my upper body, and mainly my arms as well, to work on summing momentum throughout my entire body to allow me to increase my power overall and decrease the ability of the opposing team to block my hits despite their height advantage. Overall, the training program has improved my performance, as not only have I increased the power of my hits, the training has helped to develop other skills of mine unintentionally. Mainly due to my increased power, I am now able to produce more serves that have also improved with their power and accuracy, meaning that the likelihood for me to obtain aces from my serves have increased, as well as shown by the examples of me accomplishing just that. Due to this improvement, I have been a more effective part of my team, as I am able to earn more points with a decreased chance of error, as commonly experienced by both myself and others when the ball is hit into the net. My drills that I chose to focus on were mainly focused on my passing ability, as my team chose to leave the hitting mostly to the middles and the passing/receiving for the pass hitters. Because of this, an increased benefit would be gained from passing/receiving drills. My first drill was simple and effective at improving my team's passing. Although it may seem like a rudimentary drill, for my team of newly introduced volleyball players, it was a necessary skill to perfect before moving on to harder drills. The drill worked on bettering the ability of my teammates to pass to a specific target rather than aiming specifically to just hit the ball. This meant that it also worked to improve our team cohesion. Team cohesion is a result of a group's desire to remain together, and this drill worked to improve this through incorporation of calling the name of the player we intended to pass to. This meant that the communication between our team improved, leading to more fluid gameplay. The next drill was slightly harder and focused on court movement rather than standing stationary, as it is rare for the ball to travel directly to where a player is standing, but rather a player needs to be able to judge the ball's movement and speed. The drill consists of a coach in the middle and a player who consistently aimed to pass the ball regardless of speed or height to the coach. The player would then move in an M shape around the court to help them familiarise themselves with the size of the court and their placement around it. My third and final drill was simpler, but more difficult, as it involved two players playing as a pair to see how long they could pass the ball without losing control. This worked on them concentrating on passing to a moving point, as it is common on a game situation as players move into rotation. It also helped to improve their judgment of distance, as they could then implement this in the court to pass it directly to the setter of the team. Due to the time constraints of the training program, a large improvement was not able to be observed. However, due to the specificity of my drills and mesocycle rate, I was able to highlight my key weaknesses and build upon my strengths to increase my effectiveness in the pass hit position. This therefore made me a more effective teammate and allowed my team to improve as a whole against the opposition. However, as made clear through this presentation, the time constraints of the training/playing period greatly affected my performance and improvement in my position of choice. Therefore, if the period of participation in the sport was extended by at least 2 weeks, as a general mesocycle is utilised for, this will allow for a more comprehensive assessment of my ability and further improvement to occur.